Happy Friday, Vol Nation. This is Frank. This is the House of Orange Sports Channel coming at you today. Tennessee last night advances with the win over Wofford. They move on. They will play the UCLA Bruins' second meeting in history between the two. UCLA won the only meeting. I think I saw it back in the 70s sometimes. One little connection we have here is back in 2019, UCLA, after they fired Steve Alford, tried to hire Rick Barnes, and it seemed to have gotten really close. And Rick Barnes was pretty open and said if UCLA would have met his buyout, he would have been there. UCLA didn't meet the buyout. Rick Barnes stayed. That was why Philip Fulmer was the AD. I can guarantee you, while Danny White was there, it would have never came down to a decision. But, again, we know the type of AD Philip Fulmer was as well. That's why he didn't last long. But and then UCLA hired Mick Cronin from Cincinnati along the way. Cronin had been at Cincinnati like 13 years at that point. He's a good coach for sure. But Tennessee, UCLA, I looked at it. I've broken this thing down trying to find where either team may have an advantage. And I'll be honest with you, there's one that could potentially come into play. One thing that could be a little bit of an advantage for Tennessee, possibly a couple, but they're really close in a lot of their metrics along the way as well. Make sure you hit that like, that share, that subscribe. I'm going to try to get through this as quick as possible. I really need to cut down the time on these videos. Scoring margin or scoring, Tennessee 74.8 points per game, UCLA 74.7. Scoring margin, Tennessee on average defeats teams by 11.8 points, UCLA 9.5. Field goal percentages, Tennessee 45.6, UCLA 46.7. Pretty close, within a point right there, or 1.1 points if you want to get real technical about it. 3-point percent, 34.1 for Tennessee, 35.4 for UCLA. UCLA shoots at 1.3 points better. Free throw percentage, here's a little bit of a difference here. Not huge, but a little bit. Tennessee shoots 74.1%, UCLA 70.8%. Free throws per game, Tennessee gets to the foul line 14.9, right at 15 times. UCLA 13.3. Rebounds per game, this could be one. 36.5 is what Tennessee averages per game. UCLA averages 32.8. If there's anything that is one metric that could make some difference, right there is it. Assists per game, 15.5 for Tennessee, 16.5 UCLA. Turnovers per game, 10.3, 10.5. Steals, 7, 8. Blocks, 5, and 3.1. Pretty close on their metrics all across the board. Looking at the KenPom statistics, Tennessee ranks 5th, UCLA ranks 22nd. Offensive rating, Tennessee 17th, UCLA 35th. Defensive rating, Tennessee 3rd, UCLA 15th. I think Tennessee has some advantages, but I think this will be a game too. And a 9:40 start time, come on, man. What are we doing here? We've got Denver games kicking off like early in the day, and we got Lexington games going late at night. Because Auburn starts at like 7-something, and Tennessee, UCLA, 9:40. That could be 10 o'clock when it's all said and done. But it is what it is. It's tournament basketball. Normally, I really kind of thought they did the times according to time zone, but this one's a little odd on that one for sure. But it is what it is. You got to play regardless of what the time, no matter if you're playing at noon or if you're playing at midnight. You still got to play the game all the same on it. UCLA's main guys I'm looking at now, they don't seem to have – every team that you face at this point is going to have that guy who does have capability going off. But on average, UCLA had their statistic. Oh, yeah, here we go. Their individuals. Tyler Bilodeau, he is their main scorer. He scores, where are we at here? 13.5 per game, 4.6 rebound. I'll be honest with you, when I look at these, when I look at UCLA's roster, I just don't see that guy. I mean, I wanted to look at the one thing I didn't have up was what I really needed here was I want to look at their roster as far as height, as far as how they match up. So Bilodeau's 6'9". Your tallest dude, of course, they have, I don't know, I'm going to say, is it Adai Mara? He's 7'3". Doesn't seem he plays a ton of minutes. You have Devin Williams, who's 6'10", and looking at the box score last night, he didn't even play. So he doesn't look to be a factor. Their minutes, they had, last night looking at it, they had 6 guys with 20 or more minutes. I was wrong on the 7'3" center, Mara. He played 20 minutes last night, had 10.6 rebounds. That's something Tennessee's going to have to contend with there. 7'3" in the minutes he gets along the way. 2 other guys had 13 and 15 minutes. Their point distribution last night went 9, 14, 8, 8, 14, 10, 7 amongst their guys who played 10 or more minutes last night. Tennessee's not as well distributed as UCLA. So that tells me there you're going to have to account for numerous guys. It's not like Tennessee where you get times on the court where really you can account for 2 to 3 guys and leave a couple guys not necessarily open, but if they go outside, you know they're not shooting it. So curious on UCLA in that regard. But Bilodeau's their leading scorer, 13.5. Eric Daly Jr., 11.7. Sebastian Mack, 9.7. Sky Clark, 8.2. He was their leading scorer last night. Actually, him and Daly were both tied with 14 each last night. Dylan Andrews, 7.1. Mara, 6.4. 4 rebounds per game for him. He only averages about 12.8 minutes. Played more last night. I would imagine he plays more against Tennessee as well. But and it'll be interesting when he's in with his height. How does he change things for Tennessee? Will Tennessee still try to go at him, or will they adapt more to mid-range jumpers and three-pointers at that point in time? Leading rebounder for them is Kobe Johnson at 6 rebounds per game. Johnson, I think I missed him here. He scores 8.1 points per game. Solid team, but, you know, you look at some of these teams and they don't seem to have just that dude. I guess any are capable if they get hot at any point, but I don't feel like there's just one guy who can kill you on the team. And good defensive team. Their offense, though, it ranks 35th. I really feel like Tennessee can shut that down. I really feel like they can. And this may be a game, 1st to 70 wins this one. And normally if Tennessee gets around 70, they're pretty good to go. And, of course, the key is going to be, you know, Chaz Lanier. We get Chaz to about 20 points. I think it's technically 19. If he scores 19 or more, Tennessee's undefeated this year. When Ziegler, Chaz, Jordan Gainey go for over 40, this team is pretty hard to beat as well as a unit. Key is going to be Chaz doing his scoring. Chaz gets his 20. Odds are pretty good for this team to win. 2 good coaches going at it. UCLA they're one of the most historic programs in college basketball history, some of the greatest runs in college basketball history, arguably the greatest coach in college basketball history, that they had a lot of history in this program. It'll be a big game for both teams. Obviously, the winner goes to Sweet 16. We don't know who's on the other side as the other part of that bracket plays today. Did not play last night. But 9:40 tomorrow night is the tip time. We'll be live with you right after that one, probably close to midnight. So we'll just pull an all-nighter, I guess. Lady Vols go tonight at 8 o'clock. I'll be live right after that. Tennessee baseball plays tonight. I think it's 7 o'clock. Looking to bounce back from last night. I did a video, broke that one down last night. Thank you guys for your support. Make sure you hit the like, the share, the subscribe. Check out the links in the description for the membership and the channel Patreon. Those are greatly appreciated. Well, or if you just want to say thanks, there is the super thanks in the bottom right-hand corner. This is Frank. This is the House of Orange. Have a great rest of your Friday, and I'll see you when I see you.